Hello students, welcome to the session of Civil Engineering, Societal and Global Impacts. Till now, we have discussed the introduction portion module which says about what is ecological footprint, how is software useful in the construction field, what are the automation coming up in the construction field and what are the recent trends coming up in the construction field. We have already looked into that module. Now we are moving further to the module which is known as importance of civil engineering shaping the world, right? We are going to talk here about the ancient and modern marvels and wonders. You all might be aware of what are the modern and ancient marvels of our country and of rest of the world. So let us see that which are the famous and why it is important. Here we are going to see in the context of our construction field. Okay, let's move further that what is the requirement of civil engineer and what is the futuristic importance of it. First of all, we all know that from the paper to the ground we can do that. Even we can have a courage to do the things on site with the safety and measures, and similarly, you can see that we can plan a great future in the infrastructural development. This is what a civil engineer can do. Even the social behavior, even the sustainable things, what are requirement in the near future for our resources can be done by civil engineer. So this is the futuristic vision, and it is important that all the field which are related to our economy is done by majorly the infrastructural sector, and that is why civil engineer is important and have a good futuristic vision. Now let's discuss in detail the importance of civil engineering. Student, these are the main hit points which you have to remember during this portion, right? So there is basically a role of infrastructural development, role in society and role in sustainable development, which is we have already discussed that what does it mean. In infrastructural there should be a good water supply, there should be a good sewerage system, there should be a proper arrangement in the city planning, proper facilities to the citizen who is residing into that city. Now what is the role of civil engineer in the society? Yes, people who can give a good quality of life is known as civil engineers. People can give a good quality of life to the citizen, can provide all the necessities what is required by society can be provided by us only. How can it be provided? If we talk in the infrastructural facilities, water is the important thing which is required day to day life. So water, we're going to see that what are the other facilities we need to see, the light, electricity, gas pipelines, everything can be done with the help of infrastructural facilities only. So that is the major role of civil engineer in the society. And lastly, we are talking about the sustainability. Sustainable development, that is green building coming up, the indoor quality, air quality should be proper. We all know that. Even the green building concept, which is the temperature maintenance, that all comes under this category of role in sustainable development. So civil engineer has a good impact on the three major sectors, right? So this is how it is important to have the knowledge in the futuristic world of civil engineering. Now let us see what are the global trends right now coming up. The world is going through the disruptive changes. Yes, we all know that right now. Even this situation, if we see the current situation of 20 and 21, there is a very change in the disruptive changes which are coming up in the construction field and even in all the fields related to the development of our nation. Now let us see that which are the fields which are very important to know about. That is, the very first is the automation and abundance. Then it is coming up with what you can see, that is BRICS. You have to remember this: Brazil, Russia, India and China, and the globalization. And third, you can see here even we have the climate change and energy. And we also going to talk about what is demography and aging. And lastly, you can see here we are going to talk about everything, information technology, computers and all the electronic things. Now let us see that what does this global trend means actually. Automation and abundance, right? Automation and abundance here actually means that the things are going automatically, and automation is coming up more and more in all the fields. And that is doing what? It is making the work and jobs less in the market, and that is affecting our construction industries labors also, right? You all know that the work which is been done by the laborers are now done by the automation with the softwares. Every handling can be done through that, right? So we need to work more and more into the skillful environment, and we need to see about all that things which are coming up. Now let's see this. I have shown you in the details that what is automation and abundance. You can see here. Similarly, BRICS and globalization. What is that actually? As the economic question is coming up, and you all know that carbon footprints are coming up, right? Climate change is also a major question. So BRICS and carbon footprints and emissions are the major questions right now. So economics are depending according to how much we are gaining and how much our country is progressing. So that is both is related to each other. Now you can see here that changing the tides in global economy, Europe was first in the developed country, India is under the underdeveloping country, right? You all know that we are under the developing country category. So how it can be done, and we have find out the way that if we want to compete to the other countries, our rupee can compete to the other currencies, it is can only be done by the infrastructure facilities, right? You all know that people goes to the other countries and have a visit to that country, and that will gain the economy because people are moving here to there just for the visit. So how can we do that? So basically I would like to draw your attention here. You can see the my presentation slide background. What does that stands? That is statue of unity, right? Which is the major question and which is the hot topic right now in India, which gains a lot of importance for our country. So that is why I have kept this, because our country future is what we have to predict actually, right? Now let's say the impacts of global trends. What are the impacts of global trends? You can see here, yes, we have already discussed, that is automation abundance and electronic communication. Yes, we have a good global trends we are coming up. The gain of productivity that have characterized some other industries did not taking place in the construction industries. And so we are going much more into the construction field and infrastructural development. Now I would like to give you here an example that Ahmedabad city is already full, and Ahmedabad city, the peripheral region, the actual Ahmedabad is already exhausted. Now we are extending our city, right? So what is the extension and why we are doing the extension? Because what we want to do is we have the facilities, that is infrastructural facilities, and that is why we are expanding our city, right? Similarly, you can say BRICS and globalization. The real growth of construction industry will take place in BRIC economy. Yes, with the other countries import and export and logistics, what we are going to do will helpful to us. The real need and growth are there. Effect of globalization of the construction industry is different if we observe construction as a material industry or as an information industry. So basically, BRIC is important. That is Brazil, Russia, India, and China. The economics are important towards it, and our infrastructural sector can lead towards it. So how is the technology coming up? What are the technologies? With that technology, what are new innovations we are doing into our field, and how we can reduce carbon footprints? And according to that, we can have a good climate change and energy, right? If we do a sustainable development, if we see about the resources which we are using, then it will be helpful into our near future, and that is the major question which we need to work on it actually. So this is how is the global trends coming up. And lastly, you can see demography in aging. Yes, people need to be skillful towards it. What is the demography? How is the workforce actually? People are working, people are not working, people are into which activities? We need to see that, because these are the major factors which are affecting our economy. So I have said here the global trends, right? Now let's move further and see what are the ancient engineering marvels and wonders. I would like to clear here, student. I have mentioned all the important theories in the slide itself. So you need to just see, and I am just explaining what is the importance of that ancient civil marvels, right? You might be knowing these things, but this is important and which is included in your module. So let us discuss first of all, that is the Great Pyramid of Egypt. You all know that, right? Egypt pyramids were the biggest structures during that period of time, that is 2584 to 2561 BC. During that period of time, it was the structure which is very important and which was say that this is the world's largest construction has been done, right? The accuracy of pyramids workmanship is such that both sides of base have average error of only 58 millimeter in length. You can see that during that period of time we didn't have much of the structural codes, we didn't have even the measurement system, we didn't have even the skill, but the construction of that ancient was done in such a way, and till today it is preserved. And yes, we even any of the structure of world haven't yet compared to that structure actually. So this is what you can see here, the pyramid, very famous, we all know that, right? Now let's discuss about the Roman aqueducts which is in Italy. right? Basically, this was constructed to gain the water from the mountain springs, right? So this is the structure which is very important. Through this, we have came with the aqueduct concept, and which is very important. You can have this, that it is around 145 BC and were used to bring the water. As I said, the most conduits. What is the conduits? You can see the U-shaped structures are shown here. That is known as actually the conduits, which are there to bring up the water for us during that period of time. So this structure was actually constructed so that in the near cities or in the other countries, people can have this type of scientific structures to gain the water actually. After that, the concept of aqueduct had came into the civil engineering field. So this is also the structure which is also right now residing. Students, you can see here 145 BC means a large period, and till now we have preserved all these important civil engineering ancient constructions, right? You can go to the theories which I have already mentioned here. Now we can see the Great Wall of China, which is very famous. You all know that. Why it was constructed, for what reason, might be you knowing it. Great Wall of China actually is the thing which is constructed for the Chinese defense, right? Yes, they have constructed this to maintain their state and people do not attack them. That is why this was made. Actually, the powder dirt is being used inside it, and the construction is basically of the stone, concrete. You can see that is the Empire of China, to protect the Empire of China, basically, right? So this is basically the longest structure built by human. You can see here it is 21,196 kilometers, which is 13,171 miles, right? So this is how the whole construction of China, Great Wall of China, has been done, right? You can see here all of the informations I have already mentioned, that how is the construction, what is the construction, how it is being done. Now you can see that this might be new for you, which is known as Parathon Greece. What is Parathon Greece actually? It is the unique construction. Antiquity was built in 438 BC. Now you can see here the major why we are looking to this ancient, because during till now and today what construction we are doing, we have the automation, we have the software, we have the measuring system, we have what, we have all the technologies what we require right now. And though we are not making such constructions and skyscrapers, though we have all the technologies, but you can see during that period of time, not much more of the construction. You can see that it was all been done during the British time, and they have used a good mindset to come up with good infrastructural things, and which gains a lot of things. We have seen the Italy, we have seen Great Wall of China, and we have now again we are seeing the Europe thing, which is in Greece, right? It was basically construction temple of Athens, and temple of Athens, it is known as temple of Athens, is extremely impressive when you consider the fact that all the stones used to build it were, right? In building several tapered columns, the entire temple looks straighter, right? It is the structure of temple, if we can see, and which is also been known as the Christian church at some point. Right, now let us discuss about the Roman Colosseum. What is Roman Colosseum? You might have heard about this. This is a structure which is very disturbed right now, but anyhow we have preserved this structure. You can see here that it is a 620 feet long and 513 feet wide, and it is in Roman, which is the largest amphitheater around. Yes, it is an amphitheater concept. You might be knowing that there are so many amphitheaters right now coming up, because that is an open theater. People can reside and people can sit and have that. Right? It wasn't built into a hillside for support like many other largest structure of the time. It is freestanding stadium with a foundation of concrete and stone that could provide sitting for 50,000 visitors in multiple sitting configuration and levels. Right? You have to remember this main points what I have already maintained. So the concept of amphitheater came into the existence. Now, looking to the Indian concept, there are more of the Sanchi Stupa, which you have already heard, which is of the Buddhist community and very famous ancient example we can give. One of the oldest stone structure. We have made the stone structure. Now you might have a question that where is other stone structure coming up? Yes, there are other stone structures you have seen. If I can give you a very near example, that is Bhuj and Kutch. They are using the stones for the construction, right? So this is a Sanchi Stupa which is very famous and have been added hundred of years since memorable initial construction in 300 BC. right? So which is known as a stupa, and then we have constructed many other ancient things, but this was a construction majorly done with the stone. Now let us discuss about the Taj Mahal. I don't have to give more about the Taj Mahal introduction because you all are aware of the Taj Mahal construction. What is actually a Taj Mahal construction here means, you can see here that is a construction of the marble which was done almost in the year, and it has been given as designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983, and which is the best art of Muslim in India, right? So in 2000 and 2007, it was considered in seven wonders of world. The construction was started in 1632 and was completed in 1643. Almost thousands of elephant was used for the materials which are used inside it, and you can see that it has also been Taj Mahal is considered using materials all over India and Asia, right? So the quality of material was very good during that period of time. Even the Mohenjo-daro, which is in Pakistan, is the construction individually that evident throughout the building. Mohenjo-daro is situated in Indus Valley, Pakistan, yet to be confirmed that its age is 5,000 to 8,000 years old, right? It carries 40,000 occupant and was built on the idea of city planning. Actually, when city planning was done, Mohenjo-daro was built. It was done by the good and great architecture, and concept was actually how the city can be planned, and during that period we have constructed that this thing, and we have remembered as a mark that is known as Mohenjo-daro, right? So this is the Saint Basil Cathedral in Russia, which is very famous and which is very beautiful actually. And you can say that it is among the World Heritage Site again. Cathedral was built by Ivan the Terrible, who had sanctioned it in 1554, so which is very famous, and you might have heard about this things, right? Even in India you have heard about Chandburai, which is the deepest step well, which is in Rajasthan Thar desert. I would just like to add here that is known as Chandburai. You have to remember that also, because it is very great structure which is made, and after that other step wells has been constructed. So now let's see, this is all of the ancient thing which we have talked about. Now let's discuss about the major modern civil engineering marvels which are very famous, and I think yes all of you knowing this, which are the modern. The first modern which you can know is the Palm Island, which is in Dubai, which is constructed what in the artificial way, right? We have constructed whole of the artificial. Now we have to think about that how is this palm shape been given to this thing, this construction, how it is possible. Actually you can see the palm, when you see the top view of this you can see that is a palm tree which is being shown, right? So this is basically is constructed into the three phases. The first construction of the breakwaters. Now you might have the new terminologies, what is breakwaters. Basically you can see the shape of palm, right? The leaf of palm trees which you can see in the figure what I have shown. Actually there a breakwater has been constructed, so water does not come into the where area of the construction of Palm Island is done, because there are villas and there are restaurants and there are house, everything is been constructed on that palm trees leaves. You can see the leaves which is been shown, and through that leaves they have done the breakwater. Next phase you can see Palm Island, construction of Palm Island means the shape of Palm Island is been given in the second phase, and the third phase is infrastructural development on main island. Means that if I want to construct a villas, yes, you might have the Bollywood stars have villas on this Palm Island actually. So basically this has been a activity tourist spot also in this country, and which is very famous construction which is yet not replicated by any of the other countries, right? So you can see the construction of breakwater built up the sea floor, then layer of rubels and outer armor. What does this mean? That how they have constructed and given the shape towards it, right? Even it is constructed a years ago, there is a safety, 100% safety, no damage has been yet constructed, and yet it is constructed in between the island. We need to have the safety of tsunami and water hazards all which can be considered, and this is how they have constructed, right? Let's move further. Yes, this is also famous, which is known as Burj Khalifa, right? Which is designed by Adrian Smith of Skidmore, Owings and Marantz, who firm designed Willis Towers in USA, right? And also the World Trade Center. Now let's see structural system. It is basically a reinforced concrete, steel and aluminium floor count, which is 154 plus 9 maintenance, and floor area is what I have mentioned already, right? Now you can see here lift is being going till only the 57 number floors and cost is almost 1.5 billion US dollar. So you can see that this is a multi-story building actually, right? It contains even the restaurant, it contains even the residential area, it contains even the commercial area at the different layers. So this is the first ever constructed skyscraper which is having the multi usability of this building, right? So you can see this is a skyscraper, right? And skyscraper with the floor, they are taking the highest floor, and after that there is a security purpose they are not taking because that are for the maintenance of the structure, right? So this is very famous, yet they are into more construction field and they are more of thinking what to do next. But this is what is Burj Khalifa can be the highest structure and skyscraper. Similarly, you have heard in the Singapore side they also have a good skyscrapers, right? Now we are talking about the Panama Canal. What is Panama Canal? If you have heard about this is basically the bypass for the ships and through the riverways, right? This is called as a Panama Canal, which shortened the journeys by almost 11,000 kilometers. So this canal was actually built for the transportation mode, and with that transportation mode, what we can actually have the things which we can shorten the distance. And 11,000 kilometer, if we can short the distance, is much more in the needy, right? So this is how a ship cannot simply enter the canal whenever it is pleases. The locks lift ship in the increment, one lock at one time, until they grow from sea level to 85 feet above sea level at Guntu Lake, right? So this is the Panama Canal. Now you all are aware about the Hoover Dam. I don't have to give much about it, which is the largest dam. The capacity of dam is also very much, and hence it is being used for the transportation, for the water purpose, for the Arizona state, which is actually the desert state, can get a water. Hydroelectric power plant and hydroelectric energy is also generated towards it. So largest constructed dam, it is arch gravity dam. There are various types of gravity dam, and this is arch gravity dam actually, right? Provides for drinking and irrigation. You can see here for the American Southwest region, that is Arizona state and Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Nevada, right? Now let's see and discuss the Indian modern constructions, which is very famous. You know all that. That is Statue of Unity, which is the world's largest structure, right? Structure, not skyscraper, it is a structure, right? Which is almost, you all know that there are three zones, zone 1, 2 and 3. What is the height of it? It is 182-meter on the banks of Narmada river, right? Which is whole of the steel structure. Many of you have visited this, you have seen the construction, the materials which are used and the technologies how they have used, if you have seen and visited this, right? Which have gained a lot economy to our country, and which is very famous structure all over the world right now, right? Zone 1 contains a memorable garden and museum. Zone 2 reaches up to the Patel's Thigh, means the structure where is a thigh region. And while third extended to the viewing gallery at 153 meter, that is zone 4, is the maintenance area, while final zone comprises the head and shoulder of statue. You can have a viewing gallery and we can view and we have the feel of it, and whole of the structure is made up of steel, but the construction behind it, the automation behind it, you can see that how it is constructed and how it is the important, because the steel structure, right? And with that steel we have created whole of the human structure, right? So this is how it is important, and we have gained a lot of economic things from the structure what we have constructed, and that is why we have named it as Statue of Unity. Now let's see the Three Gorge Dam, which is also an hydroelectric gravity dam that spans the river Yangtze by Yiling district of China, right? Which is very important. You can say type of dam is the gravity dam, right? Height is 188-meter. The George Dam is also an good dam, and which is also the good concept during that period of time, and it generates the highest hydroelectric power for China. Now, channel tunnel. What is this channel tunnel? Actually, the objective was to construct 7.6-meter diameter rail tunnel. This is the rail tunnel actually, 30-meter apart, 50-kilometer length, and 4.8-meter diameter service tunnel between two main ones, right? So, northern France beneath the English Channel at the Strait of Dover. It is basically not year constructed? It is in France, and the construction was very good. With that channel tunnel construction, we have come up with the concepts of tunnels. Now, a very famous signature bridge in New Delhi, if you have heard about it, it is which spans the Yamuna River at Wazirabad section and to East Delhi. Right now, we have to actually the modern constructions. I have mentioned all the important things, that what is the span, that is span, main span is 251 meter, height is 165 meter. You have to remember this main points, that what are the main points of in the field of construction, what that actually ancient or modern marvel is constructed, right? It is a joint venture by Gamon India and Tensa India Construction, right? Open foundations and closed foundation, side span is 36 meter. Signature bridge is very famous. If you have seen, the similar construction is also been done in Mumbai, and Worli bridge, right? So that is also been cable bridge. All these are being constructed with the concept of this only. Now, future vision of civil engineering, that is basically the planners, designer, constructor, and operator of society, economic, social engine. This is the main thing which we have to consider actually, that we should be having the vision, we should be having the new technologies, we should be having the new concept of it, right? So that is what has been done by planners, designers, and civil engineers, right? And accordingly, we can replicate on ground. Stewards of natural environment and resources, yes, by doing all that, we also have to take care of the natural resources and the environment. That is a sustainability question again. Innovators and integrators of ideas and technology across the public, private, and academic sectors. Yes, the help of every sector should be taken. It is not like the single venture, it should be the joint venture by all the three sectors. Next is managers of risk. We should maintain the risk also, and it should be not like economy should go down, economy should go up. And actually, right now the project of Statue of Unity is the good concept which is coming up. But similarly, you have seen that that whole area is developed in different 15 to 16 zones, right? And they are the zones which are developed in such a way that people attract towards it, and we can gain the infrastructural development and economic, right? Leaders in discussion and decision shaping public, environmental, and infrastructural policies. Yes, there should be a good infrastructural and public policies which are required for our future civil engineering projects. So through this, I would like to tell you that students, you have to think about the future innovations which are coming up. This is not I am telling about to build the skyscrapers or build the building or build the structure, but yes, the innovations and technologies which is being used, and how your construction can be speedy towards it, can be done towards this, right? So future scenario is of the sustainable world actually, which is very much required. Global civil engineering profession is increasingly recognized, right? And through that, we have to look all the major points of future vision, and then only we can have the sustainable world actually. So this is what is our future vision. So thank you, this module is very short, and hope you have understood. The major thing is the global trends and the bricks, and even the ancient marvels and the modern marvels. Please have a look of all the theories what I have already mentioned into it, right? Thank you.